Alright guys, here we go. Anybody not here, y'all need to bring them up to speed on the way this is going to work so they don't screw you guys up. I'm going to get the safety brief out of the way. While I'm giving the safety brief, the referees will run around and punch your safety section if it's not already punched. First and foremost, this is a field paint only field. If you did not buy your paint here, you cannot use it. Alright? The refs know what color paint we sold today. If they see anything else and they catch you, you guys got to come see me and we're going to ask you to leave for the day. Alright? Field paint only.
That's a defense, right?
Everybody should go through chrono. Maximum speed, 285 feet per second. Alright, 285. Not a lick over. If you crawl it at 284, you're going to be in trouble as it warms up. Alright, 285. And 12.5 balls a second. If you're ramping or in semi, you need to cap it at 12.5 balls a second. Refs are running around with handheld chronos. They will be crawling you on the field. If the ref runs up to chrono you, just do what they tell you. Stay behind your bunker and they'll get out there as fast as they can. Right. This is a zero contact field. All right, zero contact. You are not allowed to touch another player. No barrel tap. Can't put your hands on them. If you're not doing it, you will be asked to leave for the day. Do not shoot the wildlife. Alright? We got turkeys and snakes and all sorts of things.
Black snakes, man.
They are not free game. Alright? The refs get you shooting, we're going to punch your safety card.
They are in towers. They're a bunch of
Oh, God. That's pretty mean. That's where he wants to go.
But it's, you know, got little holes. They go into the
Getting
hole.
shot. If you are shot, you are eliminated.
Black snakes are
You have to go all the way back to your base
it won't even
and
break
respawn.
your pants.
Alright? It doesn't matter if it's on your tennis shoe,
Those are small.
your
They're not
sombrero,
small.
They get
or a
big.
book you have in your back pocket. If the
they're
ref
not
sees
venomous.
paint, you go back to your starting
Copperheads are.
point. It's your responsibility to wipe the hit off, because if the refs see it, we're going to ask you to go back and do it, even if you try to tell us it's an own hit. Alright? Friendly fire.
Walking out of that spot.
If your teammate shoots you, you are out. You have to go respawn. Alright? If you shoot yourself, you are out. You need to go respawn. Look, you slide in the bunker, pull the trigger, and blast your foot off. You can take the walk of shame and just let everybody know on the way by you shot yourself.
I do it all.
Alright, paint checks. Alright? If you think you've been hit and you can't tell, it's on the back or the top of your head or something, just call for the paint check. The ref will get over here as quickly as they can, and they'll check. If you ask very, very nicely, they may do a paint check on somebody you're shooting at. Alright? They don't have to. Believe it or not, a paintball will bounce. Sometimes it hits you and it doesn't break. So you're here all day long. I know I hit you, I know you hit you. The ref's standing right here. They'll be giving the same signal. That's because they're watching the balls bounce. Alright? The referees here are very good at what they do. And I guarantee you they'll play fair and they'll call it out when they see the paintball break. Any questions about the safety issues today? Sweet, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. First and foremost, as y'all can tell, we're running 3 teams today, alright? 3 separate factions on the field at any given time. Alright? 3 bases, 3 starting points. We got Radiation City, we have Spools, and Maze. All teams are competing for the same props to score points. Alright? The bases are not safe zones.
Oh shit.
Bases are not safe zones. You can and should overrun your opponent's base and take his stuff. Alright?
Wait, what?
If you respawn, it's not safe. Like there's no safe.
Yeah,
Alright? Each base is worth points. So you do want to hold your own base so you get your points. Your personal home base is worth more points than taking your opponent's base. Alright? But if you can take 2 bases and hold them at the end of the game, then that's double points.
You look like you pretty much set.
If your base is taken from you, you have no place to respawn.
No. Far too mobile.
So you're going to come back up here to the main gate, and that is going to be your respawn. You're going to become nomad. Once we get enough of your team back together, we'll put you back on the field. You guys can go take your base back, or take somebody else's base. Alright? So if you get shot and you go back to your base, and you're on the red team and it's filled with blue players, don't go back on the base. Come back up here to the main gate and see us, and we'll get you back on the field. Alright? Any questions how that works? Alright? Here's where it gets a little complicated.
A little.
Not that I think it will happen. But for this conversation, the blue team's going to hold 2 bases. Alright? They can respawn from either base. Alright? So if your team holds multiple bases, you can respawn from either base. Just make sure you check in with the base rep there and let them know.
So if you don't have any bases, you
Alright guys, props. All day long we're going to be putting some props into play. For mission number 1, factions are going to be trying to feed themselves and keep yourselves hydrated. Scattered out on the field we have water jugs and MREs. Alright? It is a free-for-all for the resources. Alright? There's going to be other missions in play, like mission 2. You'll get bonus points if your team has food and water, because you'll perform better if you have what you need to survive. Alright? It's a 1-man lift. 1 man can carry a water jug or a MRE. You can't carry 2 or a combination of both. 1 prop, 1 player. Like I said, if you can overrun the opponent's base and take their food and water, they don't get the bonus points for having them, and your team will get more bonus points for having them. They only count for points if they are in your base. If you take over a team's base and you want to hang out there, and you can hold it, that counts as your base, so at the end, you'll get the points for that. It doesn't have to be back to the original base, just have a base you control. Alright? The water jug has water in it.
Dope.
Pick it up and start across the field with it. If it doesn't have water in it at the end of the round, it does not count for points. So don't think you can just pour it out and run with an empty bucket. Alright? The MREs are sealed. If you get hungry and you eat an MRE out there, it's not worth any points. Alright? So, intact MRE, full water jug. At the end of every round, when we start the next round, the water jugs and the food will be scattered throughout the field all over again, plus the additional mission that you'll be running. Last but not least are the props. During some of the missions, we're going to have a 2-man lift. Alright? We'll tell you before the game starts that it's a 2-man lift. Alright? We're not going to have a referee follow around and make sure 2 people are carrying that crate all the time. Alright? But here's the deal. If you're caught moving a 2-man lift with a single player, your team will not score any points for that prop for the rest of that game. The ref will tell you to set it down, and your team will not be allowed to collect points off of those props. So we're going to have 2 or 3 ammo crates. If you get caught dragging one with 1 man, you guys won't get points for any of the ammo crates for the rest of that game. Any questions on how that works?